My name is Chloe. I'm 24 and I have been a quadriplegic since I was 17. When I was a teenager, I made a few too many bad decisions. I thought that I was right and everybody else was wrong, and I liked breaking the rules. But that took me one step too far. On New Year's Eve 2007, I was drinking at the Molong pub and I got kicked out when they found out that I was underage. So instead of doing the sensible thing and calling it a night, I went a little bit too far. At this point in my life, I had been living by myself in a flat upstairs, just around the corner from the Molong pub. So I went into my flat upstairs. I was out on my balcony, my upstairs flat, and I climbed over the railings, walked along the roof, and I went and sat on top of the brick awning just outside the Molong pub. And I had done that before, but I hadn't done it when I was blind drunk. And then it all was a complete blur from there. I can't really remember that day, but I can remember the next 7 years of my life and all of it from that one night. So 2008, I spent almost the entire year in hospital in rehab after my injury. And when I was in a coma, the doctors thought, because of my injuries and how severe they were, they thought that I was going to end up being a vegetable, severely brain damaged and paralyzed from the neck down. And fortunately they were wrong, but I'm still a quadriplegic. I have limited use of my arms, and thankfully I have feeling and use of my legs, but not to its full capacity. 2008 finished and 2009 started, and that was when reality really hit home, and I was living at the house in Manildra that my dad had built. It had to be specially modified to allow for my wheelchair, but when I actually got there, it really hit home where I was and why I was there. Being in a wheelchair, it doesn't seem like it would be that much of a big deal, and when I was in rehab it didn't feel that bad. But when I got home and I realized the struggles that I was having and everything that I needed help with, it just made it hurt so much more. On the 16th of December 2009, I can remember that day, and it was a normal day. My dad was away. He was doing work in Yarrawonga. He was a shed builder. And my uncle knocked on my door, and that was very out of the ordinary because he lived about 45 minutes out of Manildra. And he came in and he said that my dad had died. And that was... Count the wheelchair as a blessing when that happens, because out of everything, that was the thing that hurt more. The wheelchair was nothing compared to losing my dad. And then in 2010, that was a little bit of a struggle. So 2010, my auntie had sort of volunteered that she was going to be looking after me because she used to be a nurse. I think about something like 20 years ago. The fact that she hadn't just lost one brother, she had lost two, because my uncle died with my dad in a plane crash. And she ended up having a nervous breakdown and couldn't handle looking after me anymore. After my dad had died, I'd spent two weeks in a place called Apex House, which is actually a rehabilitation centre, and I had a doctor say to me that I would never live by myself. I would need 24-hour, 7 days a week supervision. I would never be able to live independently. And me being the stubborn person that I am, I had to say no. I was going to prove her wrong, and I did. So in March 2010, I ended up spending 2.5 months in a nursing home in Condobolin. That was hell beyond hell. The hospital, being in rehab, that was nothing compared to spending that long in a nursing home. So in, I think it was August 2010, a place opened up in Orange, and I took it. I wanted to get out of the nursing home. even though it was the first chance that I had gotten in the entire time I'd been in a wheelchair that I was living by myself. So when this place opened up in Orange, it was a place, it was sort of like a retirement village, but I had my own little unit thing, which was absolutely tiny. My lounge room was absolutely tiny. My bedroom was even smaller. My bathroom, I could barely move in it. And the rent was 90% of my income. They provided food and milk, and that was it. And finally a place opened up that was still in Orange, but it was a little bit more independent, and that is the place that I'm living at now. It actually took 2 years for me to move in because the first builder went bankrupt, the second builder went bankrupt, and then the last lot of builders came in and they fixed everything that the other builders had messed up. My unit had to be specially modified to suit me and my wheelchair. My lounge room is larger, the doors have been widened, my kitchen has been specially modified, my bedroom, my bathroom, everything has been modified to suit me and my wheelchair. Where I am now is so much better than when the doctors told me that I would never be able to live independently. I would never be able to live by myself. But a couple of years ago, I got a cat. I was at the RSPCA and I picked a cat. And this cat was everything. He filled the gap. He filled the gap that I felt, because after my dad died, for a long time there was this gap that it felt like something in my life was missing. I wouldn't say that my cat is my world, but he is that part of my life that was missing. That little gap that I had, that I wanted something to replace it, and he was it. I have had so many people tell me, okay, it's going to be too hard for you to look after an animal, it's going to be too hard for you to live by yourself. I have had people tell me that I wouldn't be able to live independently, and I do have to say that the first night that I spent by myself, it was terrifying. My auntie had came to help me move in when I moved into this other unit it was called Village Life. That was the retirement village thing where you had to go to the dining room for lunch and all that. But she had helped me move in, and it was okay until the night that she wasn't there. That was actually scary, being in bed and not having anybody in the same room, in the same house as me. But after a while it all got easier, and now I am where I am. I thought that this story was going to be easier to talk about and explain, but it's a little bit scrambled, as you can sort of see. But I just wanted to tell you my story, and it's more to show you that if anybody is telling you that you can't do something or you'll never be able to do something, don't listen to them. Don't think that they know everything. If you believe that you can do it, then don't let anybody tell you otherwise, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it, because I did this. I am still not 100% independent. I still get carers coming in every morning and every night, getting me up in the morning, putting me on the shower chair, going to the toilet. I need help to shower, I need help to dress, but the rest of the day is all mine, and I get that feeling of self-satisfaction at the end of the day when I get put to bed, that I have lived my day by myself. I don't have that much of a life when you really think about it, but to me it's not depressing, because I still have a better life than what they originally thought that I would. And it's not the most ideal life, and it's not the best thing, and I still have bad days just like everybody else. But this is my life now, and I am so happy that I am where I am, and that I am not a vegetable. I am not the person that they thought that I would be. In case you haven't noticed, I have had a severe traumatic brain injury, and it actually took about 6 years after my accident for me to get full brain capacity back. I still get a lot of trouble. I still get confused, I still repeat myself, and I still have a lot of trouble holding a conversation and remembering what I was saying and remembering what I was talking about. Just in case you don't know, this video has been edited a lot. So I am definitely far from perfect. My life is far from perfect. But the life that I have now is the life that they never said that I would have. There's not really much of an end of the story to this because my life has only just started and my story has only just begun. You want to come help me end the video, Gizmo? This is Gizmo. Here's my cat. He doesn't always like sitting on my lap, so thankfully he came up and now he's gone. So I'm going to let him end the video, and I hope you have enjoyed my story, and like always, please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. And I will leave my story there, and I will see you guys next time.